Yeah, no, my debate for today, I just want to go into like what you thought the alternative options could have been. Like instead of sending Lucerys and Jacaerys out as envoys and messengers to deliver these, the terms to these high lords and the other ranking houses of Westeros, like were there other ways that could have been accomplished to where, obviously Lucerys doesn't get killed by Vhagar and Aemon? Do we think that it would have been smart to maybe accept the terms that the Greens gave? Do we think we should have stuck with the Ravens? Do we think we should have let Daemon and the adults handle the messaging? What do you think? What are some of the alternative options you think would have been a little bit better and not lead to the outcome of Lucerys Velaryon tragically dying?
Yeah, well, one, I think the dumbest fucking mistake she ever made was just thinking people were going to honor their oaths. I mean, Corlys told her that. She was like, so did House Hightower pledge an oath. We see they're not exactly on the same side. So I think I think it was smart going as a messenger. I mean, you want to be peaceful just like Viserys was. That's how he prospered all through the years. But at the same time, you can't just abide by that if you're banking on a war. Like, you got to have something to offer, right? Even fighting a war nowadays, what do? We pay people to like, we literally like pay to supply the army. Look at the Lannisters offering their damn gold to everybody, He just showed up empty-handed, like expecting people to honor their fucking oaths. Are you out of your fucking mind? And and then here's my other problem is I like that they were sent as messengers, but she just sent two fucking kids. Like, you sent two kids to negotiate like what this guy's gonna do with his whole fucking army. Like that, like, okay, like I get her point with maybe Kraken Stark, what's going on next season because he's around the same age, but especially with someone that, they were even talking about, the Greens were trying to even get on their side, which they were smart as fuck. They sent Aemon over there with the biggest fucking dragon and offered his hand in marriage. He's like, look, I got the biggest fucking dragon on the lot. You can have my hand in marriage. We're over here going to take over the realm. Yeah, we got a shitload of money. We're ties with the Lannisters. They're going to give you some fucking coin. And then he just shows up. You got fucking Luke just shows up empty-handed saying honor your oaths. And he's like, what, the age of 13? A 13-year-old fucking boy now? Like, I would be fucking embarrassed, man. Like, you're literally over here, you're sent, that's embarrassing, first of all. You sent a fucking child to do your damn dirty work for you, to negotiate on something that's literally determining, we always say this, you're on the blade of a knife on what's going to determine this fucking war. And you just lost the house because you sent your son the age of 13 with nothing to offer, with a baby-ass dragon. Baby-ass dragon. Like, sorry, Drogon would fuck that shit up. And then Vhagar would probably beat Drogon, honestly. Like, you're out of your fucking league, man. And then you just send him there empty-handed all the way to Storm's End. It just makes no fucking sense. So she relied too much on trustworthiness and honesty.
She just did not play this smart at all. They all told her, I think Corlys's quote was, hope is a fool's ally. You can't hope that they're just gonna they mentioned how stale these oaths are. Like, hey, they're not even the ones that took the oaths. Their fathers died. They're not going to be held by those oaths. They weren't even there when they swore them to you. So it's the fact you made a really great point. She just relied a lot on trust in people's words. Bitch, we're at war. This is war, man. I'm sorry. Like I need to see some action. Let's get things moving. You gotta send Daemon over there with the bloodworm, scream in their face. You think Lord Boros is turning Daemon away? I don't think so. I don't fucking think so. I think Daemon would have walked right up in that motherfucker. He'd have been like, listen, we're taking your army with or without you. And call that a day. Like, I think they were letting children do adult jobs because Rhaenyra herself, she has a big ass dragon in Cyrax. She could have gone and with the crown looked imposing and menacing and really, did the whole intimidation factor type of deal at some other of these locations. But like you mentioned, we're having Jacaerys and Lucerys, and yes, that's great. They're princes. You're gonna want to see it. They can fly fast on dragons. It's better than using ravens in terms of speed of getting terms to people. Sure, yeah, I agree there. But it's not just about speed. You gotta get them on your side. There's two sides of the coin. So I really think that they really screwed the pooch of who delegating what task to whom. Right? To me, you're asking me what I would have done, because they weren't getting ready to battle yet. Instead of having Rhaenys fly off on Meleys and circle around the gullet and the area between the Narrow Sea and the ports to King's Landing, I would have had Jacaerys and Lucerys together circling around that area, just drawing fire if we ever needed to. But realistically, you're probably not going to need to, because nothing's coming to a war yet. We're trying to have this war of ravens and envoys, not of fire and blood yet. I'm not trying to make any funny connections, but my point being is that if you have Rhaenys on Meleys going to treat with, the Vale of Arryn over there, then you got Daemon going to treat with the Tullys, then you got Rhaenyra going to treat with the Starks, and then you got, who knows, someone else going to treat with the Baratheons. You probably have a better chance of getting these people on your side. You know what I mean? I don't think a lot of people are turning down 2 out of the 3 biggest dragons in existence right now. You know what I mean? So I think that they just delegated the wrong tasks to the wrong individuals, and they were warned. Rhaenyra was warned. They said, "Listen, we're gonna need more than this." And she looked absolutely silly when Lucerys got this. He had no idea what to do. He had the dang message. I don't even think he read the message. I think she said, "Hey, just give this to Lord Boros." And so when he asked him a question, he's there well, shit, I don't know. Didn't prep him for any salesmanship to be well, you know what? Let me counteroffer. No, it was just straight up, "Hey, remember your oath, man." He's like, "What? Fuck off!" He's like, "Dude, they got Aemon's hand in marriage. They're gonna give me all this gold probably from the Lancers that you were mentioning, and but it's silly. It was really, really silly to think that there was just. It's just sad, because I'm also kind of curious. I don't necessarily think Daemon's initial jump to plunge right in was the right way either. But can we come to everyone playing to their strengths, right? Maybe Corlys makes the plans, right? Corlys at least has battle experience. He's the guy. He's survived however many battles in the damn Stepstones. Let's let him put the pieces on the board together, let you know where to go, and then you play to your strength and play that position he gave you. Lord Corlys should have been the damn coach here, and Rhaenyra should have been "Hey, you know what? I'll sit the figure throne, but you guys are my advisors. Fucking advise me," instead of sitting here and trying to I don't know, man. I'm going into a long rant about it, but there's just so many things that could have been done differently, and I just think the wrong people were given the wrong roles, and that is exactly why Lucerys Velaryon is dead now. Where we didn't have to be that way, and it still could have turned out in favor of the Blacks with no bloodshed. They had a great plan. Corlys had a great plan. Hey, we're going to cut off the Narrow Sea, can't get any supplies in. If we get these 2 houses, we're going to close in on them, and they've got nothing. They've got to surrender. Great fucking plan. And then all of a sudden, Lucerys is dead. And do you think for 1 second that she's going to stick to that plan now? Hell no. She's going to go off the fucking rails. Of course she is. So, dude.
Yeah, man, we've seen that happen before.
It
seems very similar. Everything just seems very similar to what I've seen before from somewhere else. Just saying.
History fucking repeats itself, man. But